Imagine this. 3 in the morning, and you jolt awake as if a hidden button in your chest were pressed. By daylight, you call yourself rational, yet the turn happens a heartbeat earlier. Your foot already moves, your finger hits send. Your lips have said, forget it. Who moved first behind your back? If you rewound yesterday, would you make the same choice? Out of freedom or well-trained obedience? Fear outruns desire. Refusal precedes reasoning. When you declare, I've decided, are you only signing after an older you? If the subconscious goes first, and consciousness explains after, who is the you, the narrator, or the engineer in the dark? Under the dashboard of daily life, forgotten blueprints set thresholds. Jung points to the persona facing outward, and beneath it, the shadow with its complexes. Old diagrams fixing reaction and tolerance. Why do you go soft with the same type and turn fierce in certain scenes? Not fresh analysis, but currents from old wounds lighting the same red lamp. Ego, treated like a lamp, is often a mirror. Eckhart Tolle's pain body behaves like a hungry organism. When starving, it provokes drama to feed. When full, it acts innocent. The law of attraction is circuitry. Attention seeds emotion. Emotion steers behavior. Behavior confirms attention. Feed something with focus and it grows. Joseph Murphy compared the subconscious to soil. Plant anything and it sprouts. Say, I don't want to fail. And the only word the soil hears is fail. Buddhism asks, upon what conditions does this arise? Choice is a temporary shape of causes. Family tone, cultural templates, peer reward and punishment, hormones, the echo of one childhood humiliation. Today's preference may be yesterday's karma rolling downhill. Why does the subconscious often decide better than you? It arrives before language and before the story, I am me, already trained to avoid pain, appease danger, and secure belonging. Its algorithm is ancient yet efficient. Match the familiar quickly. Choose the path that drops anxiety now. Often we call this intuition. Usually it is conditioned reflex. Worse, the subconscious does not understand negation. Tell yourself, don't get rejected, and it hears rejected, nudging you to withdraw early, over-apologize, or posture, delivering you to what you fear. You do not need catastrophe for this to guide your life. The subconscious can quietly. The hidden costs show up first in relationships. You are drawn to smells, postures, and tones that recreate early climates. Warmth if you had it, chill if you didn't. I just like this type, you say, not noticing how precisely it triggers your defenses. You think you choose a partner. In truth, you choose a script. Recycled fights, familiar silences, identical parting lines. Fate becomes the speed with which wounds recognize each other. Work follows the same groove. Safety masquerades as rationality. Measurability masquerades as truth. Confirmation bias gathers friendly data. Loss aversion ferries you back to the old shore. Availability drags your gaze to loud noise. Add KPIs, industry narratives, and peer comparisons, and the collective unconscious slips a second shell over your private one. You sprint on a conveyor, faster feet, steadier belt, unchanged direction. Society amplifies this quietly. Advertising and short video standardize desire and yoke cool to correct. Algorithms reinforce themselves with dwell time. Echo chambers sell belonging through sameness. You mine the like count for worth, while attention has already paid tax. Culture steeps certain words: efficiency, cost performance, winner, traffic, until your categories calcify. Then you can only see the world that way. That enforced seeing is the deeper cage. Worse, the subconscious can make you misread progress. You upgrade tools and polish the resume, yet the basement fear persists. Being left behind, worthless, unloved. So change serves the same anxiety. You upgrade the fence, not the field. You prescribe self-discipline for the same diagnosis. Harder work thickens the wall. Costs hide under the caption, "That's just how it is." Stay asleep, and you accept silent negotiations. Signing in silence, conceding in fear, agreeing from exhaustion. And you pass the pattern forward. The tone, the gaze, the way of judging, sown quietly, like seed. So where does rebellion begin? With one stolen second. The gap between trigger and response. You need not become another person overnight. You insert a wedge of clarity. Give strong emotion 3 breaths. Inhale 4 counts. Hold 1. Exhale 6. Do 3 small things. Rewrite the instruction set. Trade "don't be late" for "I arrive 10 minutes early," and "don't fear failure" for "I allow 1 imperfect attempt." Speak 3 clean lines before sleep. I see myself. I can ride the waves. I act in alignment. Practice micro-deviations. A new route, a new speaking spot, and 1 question instead of an explanation. What am I protecting right now? Negotiate with the shadow in 2 columns. How I avoid. What if I don't? Most fears are not fatal, only unknown. Give the shadow a job. Thanks for the warning. I'll go slower. Manufacture replacement experiences in low-risk settings. If you appease, state a need. If you avoid, initiate. If you perfect, deliver 70% on purpose. Try information fasting. 72 hours without recommendation feeds. Move apps to a second screen. Confine scrolling to 1 window. Build an awareness alliance with a frank partner and a weekly check-in of 3 questions. What was my strongest emotion? What was it protecting? Next time, what tiny alternative action can I take? Yes, it sounds slow. Slowness is the weapon. The Buddha dissolved inertia with observing. Zhuangzi loosened identity with sitting in forgetfulness. Wang Yang-ming pressed knowing into doing. Viktor Frankl kept the last freedom, choosing one's stance. When delay, breath, language, micro-deviation, replacement experience, information fasting, and alliance interlock, the subconscious stops acting as regent and becomes an advisor. It stays quick and survival savvy, but no longer signs for you. You begin to taste quiet authority. Not, I must win, but I am choosing. Push farther, and a simpler truth appears. Before thought, emotion, and impulse, there is witnessing that is never entangled. It does not need to triumph or be persuaded. It simply is, like a night lake reflecting everything without being stained. The final insight is not, I can control the subconscious, but I am not the traffic of mind. You are the open clarity that knows it. Buddhism calls this no self. The I is a temporary name formed by conditions. When causes converge, it appears. When they disperse, it ceases. Freedom is allowing the subconscious to come and go within awareness, cooperating with instinct, bowing to echoes, then letting them drop. From that seat, now picture the final shot. Night air, a red light. The old button in your chest glows, then dims. You neither suppress it nor obey it. You simply see it. Put your hands in your pockets. Look up at an unhurried sky. Green. You step. No oath, no hidden signer. Just one small stride aligned with where you truly want to go. When aspiration and awareness travel together, causes and conditions are rewoven. The words you sow become seasons. The gap you keep becomes a path. Then you turn back to the film called Me and ask, which scenes were inertia? Which frames did I choose? And from today on, who directs? One more clarification matters here. Awakening is not a heroic mood you hold forever. It is a practice of returning again and again to the 1 second you reclaimed. Some days you forget and ride the conveyor. Some days you remember by the set of your jaw or the shallowness of your breath. Name what is present. Tight chest, buzzing skin. The old line, don't mess this up. And choose the smallest, honest move that does not betray you. Send one real message instead of 10 perfect drafts. Read one page instead of scrolling. None of this looks grand from the outside. All of it changes the gradient on the inside. Because the point is not to amputate your subconscious, but to be its keeper. To let its speed protect without letting its fear govern. To accept its gifts without handing it the pen. You are not trying to become a different ocean. You are learning to steer the waves you already are.